that will sort of outstrip. That is pretty awesome.
There's
God, that's hilarious.
fighting Obi-Wan Kenobi too.
Yeah,
There's a great series of that. That's my
Ryan
favorite.
is actually a really good Obi-Wan. Like, that's pretty impressive.
It was pretty good.
And he
yeah.
brought
And his girlfriend was dressed as C-3PO. Or no, R2-D2,
Hot R2-D2.
which was particularly awesome. They were a very cute couple. Yeah, so someone asked if sort of our growth would outstrip, if we were ever worried that our growth would outstrip the donations. And I don't think necessarily that that'll happen. What we do sort of try and pay attention to is regionally we don't add too many hospitals all in one area, because I think what might happen is that locally, you know, if you have like 3 of your local children's hospitals involved or something, then that would sort of split up the support. But as long as we don't sort of duplicate too many things in too many cities, I think we'll be okay, because people like to support their local hospital.
Did you ever have any moments of like some really weird misunderstandings or resistance when you contact a hospital to say we like you mentioned earlier, but even now as you're growing?
Yeah, I mentioned earlier that, you know, we have had historically we had a couple of hospitals investigate us and then decide that they weren't going to take part in our program, and one of those situations was for different reasons, but the first time it happened, it was a very large pediatric facility. I'm not going to name it, but they sort of had a very old-fashioned board. And I guess, see, when you go to the Child's Play website and do a little research. Oh, did we just?
We just picked up Ian Dixon.
Oh, excellent.
Okay, Ian, I'm just bringing your level up.
Yeah. Anyway, the bottom line was that they had stumbled across Penny Arcade and took a look at it and said that we, quote, were not an appropriate charity match for them. So that's their misfortune. Anyway, that's what happened then.
All right. Hey, Dix. How's it going?
Let's see if I can get a level from him.
Oh, we're working on getting levels.
I can see him.
We can see you.
His
I
lips are
probably gotta bring the monitor up. Okay, try now.
No, I know what it was. I accidentally muted my mic.
Way to go! All right, we got it. How's it going? Did you want to picture us on the feed there?
Yeah, I'm just gonna dump him in here.
Hi, Dix.
Put that back.
There we go.
Hey, guys.
There you are.
Wow.
How's it going?
Pretty good. How are you guys doing?
We're hanging in. What time is it over on the other side of the planet right now?
Let's hear. It's what, 11 your guys' time? It's 23:41, which is 11:41 p.m.
Nice. Oh, good times. We have some questions for you eventually. In the meantime, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and how you came to be involved in moderating our Desert Bus chat and what it is you do?
Sure. All right. Well, as I'm sure people who have been on this a lot in the past probably recognize me. Like on the actual blog post, it said I've been a staple since Desert Bus 2. I actually was around for Desert Bus 1, lurked a bit, actually got into even like hearing about loading ready run through Crows. Just like the blog post also says, he kind of wrote me into actually getting involved with the chat and everything like that. Basically, it kind of all leads from how I met him. Basically, met on Rooster Teeth forums about 7 years ago, and turns it like we took a couple TV show threads and everything like that. Namely, the Stargate thread we had on there. I'm a huge sci-fi fan, so that's one of my favorite shows. And one day I was after the first time I got kicked out of college. That's a story for another day. I had a job working at a mortgage company, and I mentioned on the blog and on the forums, I'm like, yeah, I'm just going home I'm at my job in Mount Laurel, and Crow's like, wait a minute, Mount Laurel, I live in Cherry Hill, and I'm like, no way, Cherry Hill, what the hell? And we've basically figured out that he literally lived about a 3-minute walk from my house, and we had been living within that close of a distance for 2 years, and didn't even know it. So That was on a Monday. The reason I know it was a Monday is because by Wednesday of that week, we had realized like, hey, let's get together, hang out. We're like, all right, whatever. And then we realized that Otakon was going on that weekend. So by Wednesday, we planned we're going to Otakon. Thursday, we had the hotel booked, plans to go down. Friday, and that Thursday afternoon, I actually took off the next day, and we headed down that night for Otakon to hang out with the Rooster Teeth guys who were there. And that was the very first of many, many ill adventures, I guess you could say.
Ill adventures, really?
Whatever.
Ill in a good way. You know,
Like
Yes.
ill. Yeah, totally
Very much
ill.
so. But so anyway, so like I met him, actually finally hung out in person, realized like hit it off great from the start. And basically he's been.
wow.
Anyway, he's been I've helped him moderate a couple forums and stuff he's run in the past, and because of that, he basically was like, hey, look, I need help when he took over moderating Desert Bus 2 after it started taking off a little bit, because we didn't really have any mods other than you guys for Desert Bus 1, from what I remember.
We didn't know how to do it.
Moderate.
It's like, we're going to just set up this
Right.
chat with absolutely no idea how to run it or anything, and it'll take care of itself. Why not?
Yeah, and then when 2 came around, you guys had crows in there and obviously needed help, so you pulled me in and helped, and I've been basically doing it ever since.
Yay!
So let's move on to some questions for you.
Well, hold on. Dix, your
Oh.
situation, of course, since last year's Desert Bus has changed a little bit.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've actually been moderating the chat ever since I've been in the Army. Actually, Desert Bus 1, I was actually civilian at the time. Desert Bus 2, I was in what's called AIT, which is Advanced Individual Training, which is what you go to after basic to learn your job in the military. Actually, one of the members in the chat right now, Crozada, Crozada, actually is somebody I went to AIT with. But yeah, Desert Bus 2, and Desert Bus 3, and Desert Bus 4, last year I was all stateside. This year I am deployed right now to Afghanistan, hence the time difference being pretty much a good 12-hour difference from you guys over there. It's really crappy internet. I don't know how well I'm coming through on Skype with you guys,
Hey,
but
you're actually coming through really well. I'm incredibly impressed with how well it's working.
This is one of the best
internet.
Skype video calls we've had so far, actually.
What's funny is the Skype works so well, but I can't pick up that live chat worth a damn. Like literally like it refreshes itself every 3 seconds, and I'm just like, I want to watch this. Come on. But no, basically, I pop on moderating when I'm off shift, not sleeping. So that's why I've been doing it over here. I'm using for people actually. I saw people asking how am I doing it. I'm actually using chat.mibit.com. It's really terrible. Really terrible. I usually use MIRC, or Merc. I tried hooking it up with my thumb drive, but it wouldn't work because it's a public computer, and it locks us out from being able to use it. So I saw a question a little while ago, basically back when I was telling my story. SG1 of the 3 Stargates.
That's your favorite Stargate?
Yeah, SG1, then Atlantis. I only really ever watched like the first 16, 17 episodes of Universe. I know it's a mistake. I really need to get into it more, but yeah.
Wasn't I supposed to send that to you?
Crows wants to know if he was supposed to send that to you.
You were. I still haven't gotten those DVDs from you. Thanks. And that was what, 2 months ago? 3 months ago?
All right. This time, let's move on to some blog questions for real. As a simple starter question, when you play Uno on Xbox Live, what do you point your camera at?
I actually don't have a camera for my Xbox when I play Uno.
Well,
I haven't
let's
actually played
assume you
Xbox
did.
Uno in years. But if I was, I don't know.
If he pointed at
I'm not going to be
Dix,
baited. I'm not going to be baited on that one.
All right.
Oh.
Nice try.
Simple question. What's the funniest reason you've banned someone for?
See, that's a hard question to answer. I don't do the banning. Like I keep saying, like I always say in chat, like I leave the banning up to the other guys. I just kick left and right. It's mainly because like I figure you kick somebody, they'll get the idea, and then if not, then one of the guys will take care of it. Plus with Nibbit, it's insanely horrible to try and ban people. Like I accidentally banned Kathleen the other day. I was trying to send her a PM and it banned her. So.
She might have deserved it. She was probably trying to caramel dancing in the chat or something.
Yeah. Well, I can say hands off on that.
Somebody wants to know, do you identify as a geek? And if so, how many geeks would you say are in the military?
I'm a huge geek. Nerd, whatever. I actually, in my free time over here before I actually got my Xbox in, I actually ordered an Arduino and was messing with that for a little while. For those of you who don't know what that is, it's a little tiny chip on a little circuit board, and you can program it to do all kinds of crazy things like controlling LED displays and robots. Geeks in the military, there's a lot of closet geeks in the military. Also, there's my MOS actually is a 35 Tango, and basically it's Intel Geek Squad. So my job is basically like fixing computers, setting up networks, administrating networks, fixing electronic equipment. So I'm not thinking really get geekier than that.
Okay, here's a simple question. How's the weather where you are?
Not bad. About 2 months ago, it was still 110-ish during the day. It's dropped down to about maybe 90-ish during the day, but then again, you get kind of used to it. Like, it's 65, 70 degrees out right now, and I think it's cold. But I'm used to it by now, I guess.
Yikes. Yikes.
Yeah.
We've answered that question. Jack Slack on the blog wants you to know you've got an awesome stash.
Thanks. Yeah, but get her up there for it.
Someone in the chat. Someone in the chat wants to know, what is your MOS?
I'll actually type in the chat. 35 Tango 35T. And Curry, yeah, I'm actually reading the chat. Curry Bread, yes, I did cry when the Phillies got beat by the Cards. I'm a huge I'm also a huge sports fan. And yes, I didn't really cry, but yeah, I died a little inside.
Who's your favorite hockey team? And answer carefully, because I do have the power to ban you.
Philadelphia Flyers, hands down.
Get out. Are you growing that stash for Movember, or is that just like a full-on normal regular stash?
November. It's getting shaved off at the end of the month. It's reached that point where it's kind of like critical mass for mustache, where it's like, all right, this is good. Any longer, and this is going to get really annoying.
You're just past the like creepy like camping outside of elementary schools like territory at the moment, I think.
Yeah, it's not a pencil mustache anymore. I'm not.
A drink in the chat asks, my brother is going over to Afghanistan with the Royal Engineers soon. Is there anything he should bring that people wouldn't tell him?
That's a good question.
Yeah, I just saw that too. Wow. Bring something to do for your downtime, like whether it be like a Kindle or a DS or something, because you will have downtime, and it's definitely something to save your sanity. Also, an iPod or some other kind of music player. Trust me, it saves your sanity on your off time.
Or, get an account with WoW, right, Dix? Right? Go on raids?
Oh, dude, I quit WoW back in May when I went on pre-deployment leave. I used to raid all the time. I actually had a what's it called? at a